Most traders believe that their real battle is against the market, against price movements, volatility, and uncertainty. But what if I told you the real war is not outside, it is inside? The enemy is not the candlestick, the chart, or the algorithm. The enemy is your own fear, your own greed, your own lack of control. And until you master yourself, you can never master the market. In this speech, you will learn what it truly means to be a Stoic trader. You will discover lessons that are not about predicting tomorrow, but about building the kind of mindset that survives tomorrow. Stay with me till the end, because these lessons are not just trading tips. They are principles that can save your career, your wealth, and your peace of mind. A trader who has no control over his emotions is like a soldier on the battlefield with no armor. The market will test him, and he will break at the very first strike. Stoicism teaches us that we do not control external events, but we always control our inner responses. This simple idea separates an impulsive gambler from a disciplined trader. When you sit in front of your screen and prices begin to move, emotions flood your system. Fear that you might lose, greed that you might miss out, hope that a losing position will turn around. These emotions are natural, but if left unchecked, they dictate your decisions. And the moment your decisions are driven by emotions instead of logic, you're no longer trading. You are being traded by the market. A Stoic trader understands this. He accepts that markets will always be uncertain, but he also knows that his emotions do not have to be. Fear will always whisper in your ear. Greed will always push you toward risk, but you can choose not to obey them. The ancient Stoics like Epictetus said, "It is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In trading, the same truth applies. It is not about whether the market goes up or down. It is about whether you react with discipline or with desperation. Imagine two traders facing the same situation. The price suddenly drops. Fear spreads in the market. Red bars fill the screen. The first trader panics, sells everything, and locks in heavy losses. The second trader, guided by Stoic calmness, pauses, takes a breath, reminds himself his plan, and makes a decision not out of fear but out of reason. Both experienced the same external event, but the outcome was entirely different because one had control over his emotions and the other did not. This is the power of Stoic trading psychology. Mastering emotions does not mean suppressing them. It means understanding them. When greed arises, the Stoic trader does not deny it. He observes it. When fear grows, he does not fight it. He acknowledges it. By observing without reacting, he creates space between impulse and action. In that space lies power, the power to choose a rational decision. Most traders lose because they do not give themselves that space. They move too fast, and the market punishes speed without clarity. Think about how many times you have broken your own rules because of emotions. You promised yourself you would risk only 2% per trade, but when greed took over, you doubled your position. You promised yourself you would cut losses early, but when fear blinded you, you held on and watched your account sink. These are not strategy problems. They are psychology problems. And unless you control your inner state, no strategy in the world will save you. The Stoic trader builds practices that strengthen emotional control. He uses journaling to reflect on his mistakes, meditation to calm his mind, routines to discipline his behavior. He prepares for the market before the bell rings, so that when chaos comes, he already knows how he will respond. Just like a Stoic philosopher rehearsed hardships before they came, the Stoic trader rehearses his decisions before the volatility strikes. This way, he is never surprised, never caught off guard. In trading, you cannot control whether the next candle will be green or red, but you can control whether your mind will stay calm or collapse into panic. This is a core principle of the first lesson. Control your emotions, not the market. Once you understand this, you realize that true power in trading is not external. It is internal. And once you master this internal game, the external game becomes far less threatening. Every chart, every trend, every trade becomes a mirror that reflects your inner state. If you are greedy, the market will expose it. If you are fearful, the market will magnify it. But if you are calm, disciplined, and detached, the market will reward you with survival. And survival is the ultimate edge. Because in trading, it is not about winning every trade. It is about staying in the game long enough to win big when the opportunity finally comes. So, the first lesson of the Stoic Trader is not about strategy, not about analysis, but about emotional mastery. The trader who learns to control himself can lose money and still remain unbroken. He can face setbacks without despair, profits without arrogance, and uncertainty without fear. He knows that his wealth is not only in his account, but in his state of mind. And once you learn this, you begin to see that the greatest trade you will ever make is not with the market, but with yourself. If emotions are the first battle, then here comes the second. When the market is testing your patience, when the candle keeps moving against your expectation, what truly keeps you alive as a trader? Is it knowledge? Is it strategy? Or is it something deeper? The truth is, knowledge without discipline is useless. 1,000 strategies without execution discipline are nothing but noise. Discipline is the invisible edge that separates a professional trader from an amateur. Every new trader enters the market with excitement, with confidence, with a plan. But when the first losing streak comes, when the first wave of volatility shakes them, their discipline collapses. They start skipping their risk management rules, chasing trades they never planned, or abandoning their system altogether. In this moment, it is not their lack of knowledge that destroys them. It is their lack of discipline. The Stoics believed that the highest virtue was not just wisdom, but the ability to live according to that wisdom every single day. In trading, wisdom is your system, your plan, your knowledge of risk management. But unless you can live by it with consistency, that wisdom is wasted. The Stoic trader knows that the market does not reward the smartest mind. It rewards the most disciplined hand. Think of discipline like the spine of your trading psychology. Without it, you cannot stand straight. You collapse under the weight of uncertainty. With it, you have structure, balance, and resilience. A trader without discipline might enjoy a few lucky wins, but eventually, luck runs out. A disciplined trader, even with a simple strategy, can survive, grow, and thrive because he follows his plan regardless of emotions, regardless of temptation. You see, every trader is tempted daily, tempted to enter earlier, tempted to size bigger, tempted to break rules. This temptation is what destroys accounts faster than volatility ever could. But the Stoic trader sees temptation for what it is, a test of his discipline. Every time he resists, he becomes stronger. Every time he breaks, he grows weaker. Discipline is not built in one day. It is built in 1,000 small decisions where you choose structure over impulse. Think about this. The market itself has no rules. It is chaos. Prices rise and fall, new surprises, rumors spread, algorithms hunt weak stops. Chaos everywhere. And yet, within that chaos, the disciplined trader creates order for himself. He sets his entry and exit, defines his risk, and commits to consistency. This self-created order is what allows him to operate calmly within the storm. The Stoics call this inner fortress, the ability to remain unmoved no matter what storms rage outside. In trading, discipline is that fortress. A trader's greatest enemy after emotions is inconsistency. You may follow your rules for 3 days, and then on the 4th day, break them just once. That one time can undo an entire week of progress. This is why discipline is so rare. It requires daily effort, daily practice, daily resistance against your own impulses. But this is also why it is so powerful, because few traders truly have it, and those who do gain the real edge. The disciplined trader does not seek excitement in the market. He seeks consistency. He is not chasing the rush of being right. He is chasing the calm of following his plan. He knows that the market is not a place for entertainment. It is a place for execution. Every trade is just another test of whether he can remain faithful to his rules. He wins not when he profits, but when he stays disciplined. And here's a paradox. Discipline often feels boring. Following rules, repeating routines, sticking to boundaries, it is not glamorous. That is why most traders fail. They cannot tolerate boredom. They crave excitement, and excitement is expensive in the market. The Stoic trader embraces boredom because he knows that boredom is a proof of discipline, and discipline is the seed of longevity. Now, return to the question we started with. What truly keeps you alive as a trader? Is it knowledge? Is it strategy? Or is it something deeper? The answer is clear. It is discipline. Knowledge without discipline dies in the first storm. Strategy without discipline vanishes in the first drawdown. But discipline, unyielding, patient, consistent discipline, this is what carries you through losses, through volatility, through every temptation the market throws at you. Discipline is not only the edge, it is the only edge that lasts. Losses, they're the one thing every trader fears, yet they are also the one thing every trader cannot escape. No matter how skilled, no matter how experienced, losses are part of the game. The untrained trader sees loss as failure, as something to avoid, deny, or fight against. But the Stoic trader sees loss differently. He accepts it, not as defeat, but as a natural cost of playing the game. Just as the Stoics embrace the idea of amor fati, the love of fate, the disciplined trader embraces the reality of losses as a necessary part of the journey. When a trade goes against you, most traders instinctively panic. They hold on, hoping for a reversal, or they overreact by doubling down, turning a small wound into a fatal injury. But the Stoic trader understands that hope is not a strategy, and denial is not risk management. He accepts the loss with calmness, closes a trade, and records it in his journal. It is not a failure, it is feedback. Each loss tells him something about his system, about his execution, or about the market conditions. Every loss is a teacher, and every teacher has a lesson. The difference lies in perspective. To the emotional trader, loss is personal. It wounds his ego. It feels like an attack on his intelligence, his ability, his worth. To the Stoic trader, loss is impersonal. It is part of the probability, part of the numbers, part of the flow. He does not attach his identity to the outcome of a single trade. He knows that his worth as a trader is not measured by one result, but by the discipline of following his plan across hundreds of results. Loss is not a verdict. It is simply a data point. Uncertainty is another dimension of this lesson. The truth is, no one knows what the market will do next. Analysts, indicators, experts, none of them can see the future. The only certainty in trading is uncertainty itself. Most traders suffer because they try to fight this uncertainty. They crave prediction. They search endlessly for the perfect signal, the guaranteed setup, the magical system that will remove doubt. But that search is endless, because uncertainty can never be eliminated. The Stoic trader accepts this truth, and instead of wasting energy on control he can never have, he invests energy in mastering what he can control, his risk, his process, his reactions. When you stop resisting uncertainty, something powerful happens. Anxiety begins to fade. Instead of needing to know what will happen next, you become comfortable not knowing. Instead of fearing the unknown, you see it as a natural environment of trading. Just as a sailor accepts the unpredictability of the sea, the Stoic trader accepts the unpredictability of the market. The sailor cannot control the waves, but he can control his sails. The trader cannot control the charts, but he can control his choices. This mindset transforms how you deal with setbacks. Instead of chasing losses in desperation, you accept them and move on. Instead of over-leveraging to win back quickly, you step back and stay patient. Acceptance does not mean passivity. It means responding with wisdom rather than reacting with fear. It means having the strength to say, this trade did not work, but I remain intact. I remain in the game. I remain committed to the process. And that commitment is everything. Many traders blow up not because they lack skill, but because they could not accept reality. They fought losses. They denied uncertainty. They let their emotions rule. The Stoic trader survives because he does not fight reality. He embraces it. He knows losses are part of the path to profits, just as nights are part of the cycle of days. He knows uncertainty is not an enemy but a constant companion, reminding him to stay humble, to stay flexible, to stay grounded. This acceptance builds resilience. Once you stop fearing losses, they lose their power over you. Once you stop resisting uncertainty, it can no longer control you. You become steady, balanced, calm, a rock in the middle of the storm. The market still moves unpredictably, but your mind no longer does. That is the strength of Stoic acceptance. Trading is not about winning every time. It is about surviving long enough to win big when the probabilities align in your favor. Survival is only possible when you accept small losses without resistance and navigate uncertainty without fear. Every loss you accept wisely is one step closer to long-term success. Every moment you stay calm in uncertainty is proof that you're becoming a true Stoic trader. In the end, acceptance is not weakness. It is a highest strength. To face losses without breaking, to embrace uncertainty without panic, to continue the journey with steady discipline. That is a mark of a trader who has mastered himself. And once again, the lesson is clear. In trading, as in life, victory belongs not to those who fight reality, but to those who accept it and rise above it. Ego is the silent destroyer of traders. It does not shout like fear or rush like greed. It whispers quietly, convincing you that you are smarter than the market, that you know better, that this time the rules do not apply to you. Many traders do not even realize how much ego drives their decisions until it's too late. They cling to being right, even when the market is proving them wrong. They hold losing trades not because their system tells them to, but because their pride cannot accept being mistaken. Ego blinds them, and blindness is fatal in trading. The Stoics understood the danger of ego long before the first stock market ever existed. They taught humility, the recognition that no matter how much you know, there will always be forces beyond your control. The Stoic trader lives by this humility. He does not see himself as a master of the market, but as a student of it. Every day, the market is his teacher, showing him new lessons, new challenges, new truths about himself. By letting go of ego, he opens a door to continuous learning. A trader with ego seeks validation. He wants to be right. He wants to call the top, predict the bottom, prove his intelligence to others. But the Stoic trader does not care about being right. He cares about acting wisely. He knows that being right in prediction means nothing if his risk is out of balance, if his discipline is broken, if his account is vulnerable. To act wisely means to follow the process, to stay detached, to choose reason over pride. Wisdom in trading is not about the glory of one correct call. It is about the quiet strength of 100 disciplined actions. Detachment is the practice that makes this possible. When the Stoic trader enters a position, he is not emotionally married to it. He does not say, "This trade must work." Instead, he says, "This trade fits my plan, and if it does not work, I will exit without hesitation." His identity is not tied to the outcome of a single trade. This detachment gives him freedom. Freedom to cut losses quickly. Freedom to move on without regret. Freedom to see reality clearly. Ego clouds vision, detachment sharpens it. Think of how often traders sabotage themselves because of ego. They double down on losing positions, not because it is rational, but because admitting loss feels like admitting weakness. They refuse to take small profits, holding out for more, only to watch gains evaporate. They break their own rules, convinced they can outsmart the market just this once. In each case, it is ego, not logic, making a decision. The Stoic trader avoids this trap because he knows that the market does not reward pride. It rewards clarity, humility, and discipline. By detaching from ego, the Stoic trader also protects himself from the highs of success. Just as losses test your patience, profits test your humility. After a winning streak, ego whispers, "You cannot lose, you are unstoppable." Many accounts are destroyed not in losing periods, but right after winning ones, when ego drives overconfidence. The Stoic trader resists this. He treats wins and losses alike, never too high, never too low, always steady. His goal is not emotional excitement. His goal is consistency. This detachment extends beyond individual trades into the broader journey. The Stoic trader does not measure his success by a single week or month, but by years of growth. He is not desperate for immediate validation because he knows mastery is a long road. Ego wants instant recognition. Wisdom accepts the slow, steady climb. By detaching from a need for quick success, he builds a foundation for long-term survival. And this is perhaps the greatest lesson. Trading is not about proving yourself. It is about sustaining yourself. The market does not care about your pride, your predictions, or your opinions. It only responds to discipline, patience, and rationality. Detachment from ego allows you to trade without emotional bias, to see the truth as it is, not as you want it to be. It keeps you humble in victory and resilient in defeat. In the end, the Stoic trader is not trying to conquer the market. He is trying to conquer himself. By letting go of ego, he gains clarity. By detaching from outcomes, he gains freedom. By embracing humility, he gains strength. This is a final and perhaps most difficult lesson of Stoic trading psychology: to trade without the burden of pride, to act without the need for validation, to remain calm, rational, and consistent in every circumstance. The market is not conquered with predictions, nor with secret strategies. It is conquered through the mastery of self. You have seen that trading is not just numbers on a screen. It is a mirror reflecting your inner world. Fear, greed, pride, impatience, these are the real enemies. And the lessons of Stoicism teach us how to fight them, not by resisting the market, but by disciplining the mind. The Stoic trader understands that emotions will rise, but he controls them. He knows that discipline is not optional. It is the very foundation of survival. He accepts losses and embraces uncertainty, because he knows they are part of the path, not obstacles to it. And most of all, he detaches from ego, trading not to prove himself, but to act wisely and consistently. In the end, these are not just trading lessons, they are life lessons. The same calmness, discipline, acceptance, and humility that build a strong trader also build a strong human being. If you master yourself, you can face not just a market, but the storms of life with clarity and strength. So now the choice is yours. Will you continue chasing the market, letting emotions rule your every move? Or will you rise above, become the Stoic trader, and master psychology that can save your career and protect your peace of mind? If this message resonates with you, then don't just listen. Act. Start journaling your trades. Practice emotional control. Build discipline into your routine. Step into the mindset of the Stoic trader today. And if you found value in this journey, make sure to subscribe to Whispers of Psychology for more insights that will not only sharpen your trading, but transform the way you think. Share this with a fellow trader who needs it. And let's build a community of disciplined, rational, and resilient minds. Because in the market, only those who master themselves truly win.